90 days. That's exactly how long it's been since this device, the Laduora Lumeo, landed on my desk, and I made the decision to integrate it into my life. Now, I'm not interested in first impressions anymore. First impressions are easy. Anyone can get excited about a shiny new tool for a week, and the real test is whether it's still sitting on the bathroom counter 3 months later, or if it's been relegated to the drawer of shame. And spoiler alert, this is one of those devices that has hit it so far out of the park, it's gone stratospheric in my routine. If you're new here, I'm 44 years old, and I can honestly say that my skin is better today than it was 10 or even 15 years ago. This is not an accident, it isn't surgery, and it isn't even injectables. I take massive pride in my skin's progress, and honestly, I refuse to sit back and let gravity or time dictate which direction my face is going. When it comes to skincare devices, I'm not looking for instant miracles because they don't exist outside of a surgeon's office. I'm looking for effective science that fits into my actual life. So let's talk about the Lumeo. If you've been searching for the best skin tightening or rejuvenation devices, you know that there is a lot of noise out there. But I'm here to tell you exactly what happens when you stick to this specific technology. 4D microcurrent and LED consistently for 12 weeks. And I'm gonna do what I do best. Strip away all of that marketing fluff and take a closer look at the engine under the hood. See, most people see red light or electrical currents and they think they know what's happening. But this device is doing something fundamentally different than your standard LED mask. You have got dual wavelengths, which are non-negotiable for me, 630 nanometers of red light for the surface texture, and 850 nanometers of near-infrared light to get down into that deep dermis. And that is the baseline and the bare minimum that I will accept for my skin. But and this is the kicker. The reason that this device has not only stayed in my rotation, but slayed the similar devices that I have, is the 4D current and the Electroporation. For me, this is the feature that changes the game for anyone over 40. Especially when your topicals are bioscience in a bottle where every single drop counts. I always say think of it like a brick wall. Your skin's entire job is to keep things out. Bacteria, pollution, pathogens, you get my drift. But this impenetrable barrier also means that when you apply a high-end serum, or any serum actually, a frustrating amount of it just sits on the surface, ready to dry up and evaporate away. Electroporation, it uses a specific electrical pulse to momentarily disrupt that barrier, which gives the skin something it lacks and really needs, especially with those more powerful topicals. Microscopic channels. It basically opens the door so that those active ingredients can walk right in en masse, exactly where they need to be. Now, as somewhat of a skincare device expert, I know that just using a device randomly doesn't really cut it. The best results are almost always driven by strategy. And over the last 3 months, I've developed a split routine that targets my specific issues because that's exactly what works best for me. Now, if you want to see how I use this as a full face session, then check out the link in the description box down below, and that will take you to my original review video of the Laduora Lumeo. But today, I want to show you how I use this for maximum results with a few TJ tailored moves that really do deliver beyond just average. I know how to get the most out of every device that I use, and this one is no exception. Twice a week, I focus purely on the quality of my skin, and I call this my serum boost session. This is where I lean into that electroporation technology. I paired the Lumeo with my Callus and Professional serum because this is a serious product, and I want to make sure that not a single drop is wasted. And I run the device on boost mode for these sessions. Now you can feel it working. It's not painful at all, but it is active. I guess the way that I would describe it is that it's a deep tingle from that electroporation, combined with a really gentle warmth from the LEDs. Now, since I started using this with the Callus and Professional serum, the hydration levels in my skin have shifted dramatically. Like, seriously, my skin doesn't feel dry by midday anymore. It feels dense, it feels fed, and honestly, the serum is drunk up by my skin even better than with microneedling. The other 2 days a week, they're for my architecture. And when I say architecture, I'm talking about my problem zones. Now, my main concerns are my jowls and my upper lids. That heaviness that starts to happen around the brow bone, along the jawline, is real. And honestly, it makes you look tired even when you're wide awake. For these sessions, what I do is I switch the device to Trinity mode. Now, Trinity mode, it fires everything at once. The red light, the near infrared light, the 4D microcurrent, and I spend the entire session sculpting. For this, I start at the jawline and I anchor the skin at my chin and I sweep firmly upwards towards the ear. And then I hold it there and I'm literally retraining the muscle and tightening the skin in that upward vector. Now, I also want to boost ATP and let my skin enjoy the workout. So for my jaw, it gets around about 2.5 minutes for each side. And that's the perfect timing for me. Then I move to the eye area. Now, the head of the Laduora Lumeo device is small enough that I can comfortably fit it right under the brow. Then I can push upward and I hold. And essentially what I'm doing here is I'm trying to create space. I'm trying to lift that hood that's appearing. And I know when I've got the right place because I feel the tingle fire all the way up into my scalp. Now, that tingle running from my brow up into my scalp, it's a nerve. And I don't want to damage the nerve, and luckily the frequency in this is not going to do any damage. But that nerve is also in that spot that I want to hit to get that brow lift going. Then once I've done this area, what I do is I shift outwards and I shift down, just a little touch, to find that sweet spot where the upper lid muscle starts to twitch on its own. And I let it work out for a good 2 minutes. Lots of serum, lots of conductivity, lots of eye muscle strengthening, and lots of restructuring. And honestly, after 90 days of using this like that, the change is more than I could have ever expected, especially from such a small device. My jawline looks sharper. That little bit of slack that I was seeing around my jowls is retracted. And really my eyes look more open. The skin on my brow bone, it feels tighter and smoother. And before anyone says it, no, there's no Botox in here. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm harnessing the power of my muscles to elevate and open my eyes, and the skin cell renewal of the 4D microcurrent infusion combined with the Calcium Professional Serum to tone, to tighten, and to hold my skin in position. This works so well. And the fact that I can do all of this without any Botox or similar anti-wrinkle injections is really just the icing on the top of the cake. So let's get into the practical side of how to actually use this device, because like I said, technique, it really matters. You can't just wave it around and expect results, and as much as I wish that I could say that that was the case, it's not. So first things first, you absolutely must start with clean skin, because if you have oil or sunscreen on your face, the current is just not going to penetrate properly. Basically, it's going to give you really poor results, and worse, it could push things into your skin that you really don't want in those deeper layers. You're also going to need a conductive medium. Now, the device does come with the 8-peptide serum, which is great. But as I mentioned, I typically use my calcium serum for my boost days. Then I'll apply some of the 8-peptide serum over the top. But the key here is all about slip, because if the metal head drags on your skin, you're doing it wrong. Now, I treat the face in zones. I do my neck first. Always the neck, then I work upwards to my jawline, then I will do my cheeks, then I do my forehead. Now the device runs on a smart timer and it shuts off after a few minutes, and this is a good thing because it respects my time. I can basically get a full face treatment done while I'm waiting for the water to boil for my morning coffee. Now safety is another big question, and I promise you there's nothing dangerous about this device. Now some people hear electric current and they get nervous, but you really don't need to. The sensation is actually very grounding, and I personally find it super enjoyable. When you get that gentle tingling going, that delicate warmth from the near infrared light, to me it feels a little bit like a warm gua sha massage. Now, if you're a sensitive skin type, you can turn the intensity down, but for me, I personally run it on the higher settings because I want that maximum contraction, and honestly, it feels so good. And I'm here for as much of it as I can get. The sonic vibration is a really nice touch too, and it helps with puffiness. So if I wake up holding puffiness under my eyes or in my lower face, then really a quick session with this device, it drains everything and it really does wake up my skin. But with all of that mentioned, something I want to talk about is longevity. Because one thing I did not expect was how well the battery holds up in this device. I literally only need to charge it once every couple of weeks. It's wireless. It's sleek, so I can toss it in my bag if I'm traveling. And I get endless sessions out of it, leaving my skin red carpet ready in little minutes. So let's answer the big question most of you probably want to ask. After 3 months of consistent use with this device, is it really something that I would say is worth the investment? Abso-freaking-lutely. I've tested enough skincare and anti-aging hardware to know when a device is legit and when it's going to become a foundation piece of my routine. And this has already achieved it. I love the visible results, I love the ease of use, I love the simplicity, but mostly I love the price point relative to the technology. Out of all of the Electroporation devices that I've tried, including the Medicube Booster Pro, for me, this is the ultimate in at-home electroporation. And I'm not just saying that, like the studies confirm that it delivers better permeability power than the Medicube Booster Pro. And that's a massive deal because it means you're actually getting the performance that you paid for out of every drop of your skincare. It offers affordable long-term results that genuinely match the kind of facials that you get in salons. And I am going to keep using this because when I know. But yeah, we'll see where my skin is at in another 3 months. The last 3 months, this has really opened my eyes to the possibilities of more affordable skincare devices and the power that they can possess, especially when all of that research, science, and dedication to at-home anti-aging skincare technology is invested into just a few key devices. If you're a more mature skin type and you are looking for a couple of foundation pieces that are really going to deliver genuine, visible, real-world results, I'd say personally that this would be one of the very first ones that I would go for if I was just starting my journey today, but had all of the knowledge that I've gained over the last 6 years. This might be dinky, but it's definitely not a toy. And if you don't own this one, you just don't know what you're missing out on. But if you've got any questions, feel free to ask me and I'll see what I can do for you. And I guess that's a wrap for this video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this update helps you in some way and it gives you more of an idea of what you can expect from the Laduora Lumeo 4D micro and current infusion device. It's a little gem. Anyway, stay beautiful and I really look forward to seeing you in my next video. So till then, TJ over and out.